Hey, this is Molly, and welcome back to my YouTube channel as we take a look at the upcoming Pisces full moon happening on September 20th, 2021 at 7:54 p.m. That's Eastern Time, so be sure and adjust for your location on the planet. So this is a full moon happening here at 28 degrees of Pisces, and that is where the moon is at, directly opposing the sun at 28 degrees of Virgo. So in your natal chart, you are identifying where 28 degrees of Pisces is. And two things stand out to me right away in this chart. First of all, 28 degrees of Pisces is near the very completion of the full zodiac wheel. The zodiac ends at 29 degrees. So here we're at 28 degrees. And it's really a place of deep letting go, a deep release, a deep understanding of what you've been moving through, a completion point, as well as reflection. Reflection on maybe what you've been unconsciously carrying. And in Pisces, this is emotionally, intuitively, energetically, things you've been holding onto that now you're ready to intentionally release, simply because it served its purpose, it served its function in your world, and you don't want it to be consuming or holding energy for you anymore. So this is a time to look at what you're ready to let go of, especially at a soul level or for your own spiritual growth. Something that you've been moving through, you've been cycling through. This could be even an area of your spiritual growth where you sense that you've come very far, you've learned a lot, you've raised your consciousness, and now you want to release and open up energy within yourself. So this is a full moon of release and letting go, so that you can have space and room for new energies to come forward or new energies to work with. So the second thing that stands out to me in this chart is that Pisces is ruled by Neptune. And you can see here that Neptune is at 21 degrees of Pisces retrograde. And as the ruler of this full moon, it is also conjunct the moon. Now it'll be conjunct earlier in the day, so earlier on September 20th, potentially September 19th. But when the moon is at 21 degrees of Pisces, that's when this big letting go is really going to be felt. You could feel it in your body. You could feel it that you're really tired and worn out. You could feel this release of some sort. When the moon is exactly conjunct that Neptune at 21 degrees, there is the opportunity to dissolve, to allow something to be transmuted. This would be a powerful full moon to work with the violet flame of transmutation, which is a beautiful golden, not golden, it's purple, but it has like this really gorgeous quality to it. It has this very vibrant energy field that helps you transmute lower energies into higher energies. And this could be working with the crown chakra. So there's something about this full moon that wants us to transmute, elevate, and release. And it feels like it could even be debris or energetic junk or emotions that are outdated. It's like there's something significant about this full moon that is giving us opportunities to consciously release and go forward at the same time. So this could be a day when you're feeling more tired. You could be feeling this Pisces energy very strongly. You could have a sense of being very hungry, being very thirsty, needing downtime. This is also where we go into higher realms, and you could have some very potent dreams or psychic messages coming through. You could have a sense of a deeper intuitive clarity around what you're ready to release. So give yourself good space and some nurturing time here, because this feels like it's energetically big. And it could feel psychically big as well, or intuitively big, where you just have an understanding of what you're clearing out and letting go, because again, it served its purpose. Now, with every full moon, we have the moon on one side of your chart and then the sun on the opposite side. And this sun is finishing up the journey through Virgo and is approaching the Libra equinox on September 22nd. And so this is the energy of where you're putting your daily efforts, time, where you're seeing results. That is a working sun in Virgo that's responsible, committed, focused. And one of the higher functions of Virgo is that we combine the body with the mind to understand where we're in synergy with ourselves. And with this particular full moon, it's the mind and the body and also the spirit, the energy of your intuitive self also being recalibrated here, where you want to ensure you're not going too far off balance, one side or the other. And there's strong Pisces energy here, which wants a break and downtime. And it's where you hang up the do not disturb sign. But then that Virgo energy is about, well, there's things I need to get done today. I have commitments, I have projects, I have emails. This is what we need to take care of. So it is a time of finding the balance between your daily reality and also the energetic self-care that's going to be very big during this particular full moon. Now you can see here that Mars has moved into Libra, which is a sign of Mars's detriment. And what that means is that when a planet is in a sign of their detriment, they're the furthest away from their home sign, where they're the most comfortable. And Mars is comfortable in Aries. And so Libra being the opposite sign of Aries, this is where Mars has to weigh some pros and cons before taking action. This is a cerebral Mars. This is a Mars that needs to sit at the table and discuss things, have a conversation, when he'd rather just get on with it and go take action. So this Mars is more contemplative, can be indecisive. And this is a Mars, though, that has some support right now. And the support is through a grand trine in the air signs. And I've been talking about this grand trine in the previous 2 moon videos. And so this is where Mars is here making a trine. It's actually a trine that's growing to Saturn at 7 degrees of Aquarius retrograde, and then also making the trine to the North Node here at 4 degrees of Gemini. So this is a more supported Mars when he connects to his long-term endeavors, commitments, and actions. So what's interesting is that we previously had Venus here and we had Mercury here. And what I mean by here is that they were in these early degrees of Libra, creating this grand trine. So Libra showed us what we were wanting to do in terms of connections with other people. This Libra energy reminds us we have support, we have partnerships, we have people to interact with and cooperate with. And the connection to Saturn is giving us stability, a sense of what is clear to us and where we can direct energies. And then the trine to Gemini energies is about where we're asking questions, gathering more information, getting some specifics, putting together a plan. And all of this energy here with this grand trine, which is a fancy way of saying a triangle, this grand trine is the energy flows. There's movement here, and it tends to flow by itself. It gains momentum, it keeps going. Now, this is significant because, as I said, Venus was here, Mercury was here, and now Mars is here, activating the same energy in your chart. So Mars brings in the activation of movement. When Venus was here, there was something you were wanting, desiring, perhaps ready to say yes to. Mercury brought in the conversations, the connections, the ways the plan could come together. And now Mars is taking the action. Now, even though he's a slower Mars in Libra, he is supported by other energies. He's supported by the sense of, it's time and I'm ready. Now, what's interesting as well is that this Mars in Libra is in mutual reception with Venus. Venus is in Scorpio here at 11 degrees, and Venus is also in her detriment, where she is furthest away from her home turf of Taurus. And so she's a little bit weaker in Scorpio. She is more emotional, more passionate, more driven. She can also be more aware of what other people are doing. And so it's interesting because both Venus and Mars are in their detriment, but they're in mutual reception and they're connected to other people's energies in Libra and Scorpio. So what you want to be aware of, especially during this full moon, is that you may need more time to yourself if other people's energies are pulling you into their space, into their priorities, into their direction. Keep in mind, this could be you. You could be pulling people into your space, into your energy. And so what we're looking at here are clarity on our boundaries. Your energetic boundaries, your time boundaries, where you say yes. That Pisces energy does want us to make others happy. And so do the planets in Libra, where we can be really focused on what other people need, what they want, what they're expecting of us. And then that Venus in Scorpio can resent it. She's like, oh, why did I say yes? I don't really want to do that. But I thought and felt maybe it was the right thing to do for them. So there's an energy here of looking at where you're over-giving, over-providing, overdoing, where you're needing time to yourself to get clear on your own boundaries. And also, I feel like this is a time of having an understanding of the long term, of what's serving you for the future and how you're communicating what you need, which is what this Gemini energy is teaching us, how we communicate what we need. So this is a full moon that's going to ask you to step back and listen to what you're hearing in yourself. Now, this Mercury at 23 of Libra is trining that Jupiter at 23 of Aquarius. So this is great for ideas, plans, travel, things you're doing with other people. It's a very social energy. It can be very buzzy and yes energy because that Jupiter will say yes. The other thing that's still occurring is we have the sun finishing up its time in Virgo, as we discussed, and it's still making, I'd say, a wide trine to this Pluto at 24 of Capricorn retrograde. And what I'm getting here is that the last week of Virgo season is transformative. There's things we've been shifting and moving through and understanding. And we had a very powerful Virgo new moon on September 6th. So this Virgo season has had an impact on our daily lives, on our commitments, on your sense of responsibility to yourself. And so how is that changing you as we then move into Libra season here over the next few days after this full moon? And in Libra season, we share our energy more. And there's a new awareness around how you want to share your energy, what matters to you, and what is a priority. Now, one more thing I want to call out, back to this Venus in her detriment in Scorpio. She is approaching a direct opposition to this Uranus in Taurus, which is her home sign. And the Taurus and Scorpio energies are about finances, money. This is what you value on your own. And Scorpio is what you share with others, whether those are shared values, shared emotions, things that we share energetically, including our investments, including assets, debts, liabilities, the full balance sheet. This is financial energy that's strongly emphasized here. And so a few days after the full moon, as we go into Libra season, when Venus will be the ruler of the sun in Libra, and then she has an opposition to this Uranus, that's some more financial surprises, developments, unexpected things being announced or being stated. And it's a good time perhaps to just wait it out and just see what unfolds even because of the instability with this Uranus in Taurus. So that is strong after the sun enters Libra, which again happens on September 22nd. And then you can also see how this Venus just had her square to Saturn. And that would have been a stop of some sort. And that would have been right before the full moon. So this Venus is active, but she isn't in her power. And she's processing some potentially fears, some worries, some emotions. She's understanding more of her own unconsciousness and what drives her underneath the surface. And then this is the energies that she is also working with as she continues through Scorpio and will eventually get some support when she gets further along in Scorpio, because then she'll make a trine to Neptune and work with Pluto. So just know that this Venus could be in a little bit of a rocky road around this full moon and into the beginning of Libra season. So I hope this has helped you understand more of the energies coming up for the Pisces full moon, the opportunities to practice some boundaries here so that you can take care of yourself, listen to yourself, understand where you're at on your own journey, and have a deeper willingness to release what you're complete with. And this would be a beautiful full moon to have that type of ceremony or to honor yourself in that way. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate your comments, your likes, subscribes. Thank you so much for sharing this video so that it can help others. And do check out more of my astrology programs underneath this video. This is how I teach astrology. I teach it in a visual manner. I teach it with lots of charts and a way to understand what's happening so that you can also become more proficient in this very fascinating language. Thank you so much. I'll be back here every Monday and Wednesday for another podcast episode. And in the meantime, I wish you a beautiful Pisces full moon.